Hello, everyone. This is our uh, community launch basic income journal or diary, video diary
Right.
for Lucy and Sam Williams and me, Zachary Weaver. And this is part of the Creative Wealth community. And we, Lucy and Sam are receiving $205 a month. Our goal is to get them to $2,000 a month, and in the process, develop a process to help other people raise basic incomes or launch basic incomes for themselves or for people they know. And of course, for me to help other people do this. So thank you, Lucy and Sam, for
Yeah.
agreeing to document this process a little bit, and especially like the feelings and everything that's coming up. Um, so, so yeah, I know you guys are in the middle of a big process right now. You're buying a house. Is that okay? Yeah, we can talk.
Like, let's just, it makes me laugh every time I hear that phrase. It's just like, how are we buying a house?
I
Yeah.
I really think that the
I mean,
support that we've felt so far from all of our supporters is enabling us to feel that energy. And you too,
definitely.
Zachary, like this you made this commitment, like we're gonna get you guys to $2,000 a month. And it just feels
Just
like,
knowing, yeah.
okay, we can do anything. And it really feels like that expansion has created so much more
Yeah.
than like, if you like looked at the $205 a month, like if someone was being like, oh, well, this
Looking
is
at the paper numbers.
critical, like thinking and numbers and stuff, they would say, no, it's not really that much. But the energy around it, I think, is so much more expansive. And that has generated, like, in my opinion, so many synchronicities, so much trust, so much more ease and flow. And I will say, I'll give us credit that we've really taken the dive into feeling the support, like really consciously chosen to to feel the energy of support and joy and ease, even around this home buying process, which can sometimes notoriously be stressful and like full of what ifs and stuff.
Drama.
For us, we've really, I guess, over the past 6 years since we met, or 7 years, however long it's been, we've really cultivated this trust. And it's amazing to see how the support has come in. Like, we have so many stories of synchronicities and beautiful things happening. And I think that this community launched basic income is taking us to a new level of that. Like, we've both over the past week felt this turning point. It really feels like we've shifted into a new, like, era of our lives. And this is even before the house was discovered. And it just felt like everything was moving towards that new shift. And I would say it's pretty directly related to this whole adventure we're going on with you in the direction of basic income, and then big dreaming, and like then putting our joy first. And like, even we've talked about creating new ways for people to buy houses, right? Like, and I think having this support enables our it's like we can lift the cap off of our consciousness a little bit and just expand out and really start to evaluate, how can we make the world a more easy, joyful, flowing existence for everybody.
That's beautiful, Sam. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's I want to note that what incredible manifestors you guys are, in that you told me, I think it was beginning of May, right? Where you were like, okay, this is our month of finding a home or something, that like we are creating this, we are doing this, and you've wanted a home for a long time, but like you were really dedicating to it. And I think I was kind of like, oh wow, well, cool. And I just knew that you guys would find the most magical thing, which you kind of have. And so it's just and I love, Sam, that you're saying that community launch basic income has supported that, has accelerated that, has helped to feel like that's possible. Because I mean, this is what people can do. They can make huge things happen. They can make huge things happen in a short amount of time. And often I think one of the really helpful elements to that is just a sense of we are supported. People are supporting us. People are behind us. People are taking care of us. The world has our back.
Yeah.
And I think everyone deserves to feel that. I think we all can feel that.
Yeah.
I want us all to feel that. Can you imagine the feeling of being alive on Earth? The feeling of going to the grocery store, the feeling of doing a jog on the beach in the morning. You're supported by everyone because everyone feels supported by each other. It would be a totally transformed world. I just love it. But seriously, why I laugh so hard is that if anyone, even anyone, were to look at our financials, our history, our numbers on paper, it would be like, you need to rent for a few years before you will have any chance. And once again, it's support that's helping us get started. And as you were just talking, I was thinking like the way we've been spending hours and hours together since August. So we're coming up on a year with you.
Yeah.
Doing the creative wealth, philosophizing and envisioning, and what that's created in me is this feeling of the value of having a community supported and launched income, which is a stability. We're down to like the root chakra, right? The stability and that safety and that release into the support. It's very exactly the same feeling of home. And so when Sam was saying that, the community, even the $200 is helping us feel like this is possible, it really is, because it's imprinted into us already, this feeling of, okay, we have support, because we don't know right now where the money's coming from to pay the monthly bills. And I'm not worried about that, but it's a reality that pretty much 80 to maybe 99.9% of normal people would probably be worrying about. But because we have philosophized, we've spent hours, visioning how this could be. I know it can be. I know you see it, and I know we see it, and that is manifestation. It comes from a vision. It comes from talking about it. It comes from feeling the goodness about it. It comes from the vibrations we put out, knowing that we are supported. And the phrase, doing my favorite things, I am completely supported.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I say that, I'm like, oh yes, that is right. I feel like earth resonating truth with that when I say it. I feel all the things around me like, yep, that's how it should be for humanity, So I hadn't made that parallel until you just were talking, that the whole wealth community has actually imprinted this feeling of this is possible for us, because we know it's possible because we have support, and we are continuing to create support. So thank you.
Yes.
My pleasure. And I love that. I love that has helped so much. And I want to say, to anyone listening, I really I think that we have sort of pre-paved the way. So I think the way this is going to accelerate is it won't necessarily you know, we've been at the very beginning of this, and we've gotten to these, you know, ideas of community launched basic income, which, I mean, I've been thinking about this for a long time, but now, you know, I've crossed that threshold where I'm not terrified to talk with you know, the world about it anymore, which is a big deal. And but the point is, like, we're creating all of this energy, we're creating this community. And so people who are stepping into this community now or in the future, that the process of getting of seeing that an income like this is possible
Mhm.
to having it, that's going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot faster, because you're going to be surrounded by people who are like, yes, 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 this is possible. You're going to have this. We can do this. Like, don't worry, we've got it.
And imagine we, I can't wait to begin. I'm all ready, but I can't wait to begin even more supporting others. Like, that's part of the fun of this, I think. It's like we
It
have
really
a stable
is.
income, and like, oh my gosh, I can start doing my monthly donations to other people who are doing it. I'm already doing a couple Ko-fi people and beyond, PayPal and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like it's gonna be, I don't know, it's truly, when you give, you receive. And there's another phrase that says, give more of what you want in your life. If you want more love in your life, how can you give more love? Is it volunteering at the Humane Society or at a nursery or at an old person's place?
That's a big one. Yeah.
So I've experimented with this one. And so
Mhm.
in the money department, give that
Yeah.
to receive more. It
Yeah.
actually, it's physics. I really think it's physics. It's an energy circle, and what our whole world is based on circles, you know, our universe. So it's like it's a natural phenomenon. You create space, more comes in. You create space, more comes in. And I will actually say, I have numerous like cool, crazy numbers. What happened when I gave money and then money came in immediately. And it's every single time what comes in is more than what I gave out. Every single time. And I mean, like, I'm generally speaking of giving a gift or giving a donation to, you know, someone or some project, but it's also worked on occasion when I give the gift to myself, because, you know, I'm so good at conserving funds, and it's rare to, you know, buy something completely luxurious but not necessary. And then when I think even that is an act of giving, when it's, you know, when you're not used to it, we're not doing it for like emotional purposes, because there's definitely spending for that. But this is just giving, donating. I'm just going to do this. It's crazy. I'm just going to buy myself $100 piece of lingerie. Right. And then the universe immediately came back with more than that. So I can't wait to keep going, giving, keep giving, keep going.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think we could talk a lot about this. Like I was going to say, like, we would actually love, if anyone listening would love to talk to us about this kind of stuff. We have very intentionally, since we met, decided that we were going to do things that were in the direction of what we wanted our life to be. And that took a very like big amount of getting clear on what we wanted first, but then really deep trust, like really kind of saying like, okay, I know that wedding gig is going to pay, you know, more than we make in gigs ever, but we don't really want to be a wedding band. So let's trust that when we say no to that, the other thing will happen. And it's been literally miracle after miracle of support and, you know, amazing friends and amazing family and just amazing opportunities have arisen from saying yes to the things that we do want, and really distinguishing like between things that were felt obligational or kind of like, oh, we just need to do something that because I don't really want to do it, but I just have to do it.
Yeah, because
that's
this
how you're
is the way it
supposed to
works.
do it.
You have to just do this. This is how it is. We've been breaking those.
We've really
things
like
open.
claimed like, no, we want to say yes to the things that light us up. And I think that's the most important, when something just gives you that feeling of like, oh yeah. And I think we've been really moving even more into being able to share freely, like just trusting
Best.
that we will be supported even when we give freely. And I think that's a big stretch for a lot of people. And I know that it just seems to resonate more.
Feels better.
Mhm.
It feels more fun to give freely, because then you're confirming to yourself you're giving out of joy, and not because you have a schedule on the calendar that you have to do this every Thursday at 4 p.m. It's like, oh, we're going to play a concert for people and just have fun. And believe me, I go back and forth with the importance of sort of scheduling things
Yeah.
and doing predictable sort of things like that. But what if we didn't? What if we just said, we have 10 slots per week available for private things, and we have these public things that we're offering. It's all free. Donate on our Ko-fi page.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
That really feels like the direction that I would prefer to move in more and more. So.
And think of how much it would simplify in the world.
Yeah.
It would, how much it would simplify the process. I don't know if I brought it up last time, but anyway, I've sort of started calling that old, or I've started calling what we're in now as like the economy of withholding, where when this economy wants us to withhold things until we receive something else, withhold our gifts or withhold our money until we receive something in exchange. And like generally, like that exchange has to be, it's for most people, that exchange is like at the time of the exchange, and it's very it's very withholding. And lots of people talk about the giving economy, and that's essentially what I want to move to, because I feel in alignment when I've tried to set prices. I've tried to charge things, and it's not that it hasn't worked, because as soon as I set a price, I start to feel withheld myself. I start to feel like I can't share as freely as I was sharing before. And so I feel in alignment when I am sharing everything that I'm doing for free, or for All You Love to Give, and I'm receiving, donations on my Ko-fi page, or whatever. And that just feels so much better, because then I can really invest in humanity. And I can say, oh, you want this, you're resonating with this service that I'm offering, you're resonating with this thing that I'm doing. Wonderful. You are the person to receive this right now. I'm so happy to invest in you and give to you. And because I'm only giving what I love to give, I'm only giving out of my enjoyment, my greatest joy. So that's where I draw the line. That's where I, make sure that I don't get tapped out, is I'm not giving more than I want to give. So if somebody gives me $0 or only $1 or something, I can still receive that with, yes, this, I was satisfied just by giving. I was
Yeah.
satisfied just by giving. So whatever you give me is bonus.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
When you love what you're doing so much that you get fed by doing it.
Yeah.
And the money is the added bonus of beauty. That is what we've been focusing on completely. And it on once you start focusing on this, noticing it gets harder and harder to do anything out of obligation, like almost impossible. Now, setting up a schedule with someone isn't necessarily obligational, right? Because, it's nice to have, we have to plan a little bit, right? How are we going to look at each other? But it's if those meetings are just filled with your pleasure and your passion, it's bliss. It's moving from one bliss moment to the next bliss moment to the next bliss moment. This is our new thing. We're like, I just moved from that bliss moment of sunrise on the beach to a bliss moment of having a smoothie with all this fresh, raw, amazing things in it, nuts and berries, to this moment of like talking about the magic of life, one bliss moment to the next.
Oh, I love that so much. I should check in with you guys because I know you have a busy day. Do you are you wanting to wrap up soon? Because I love the flow of what we're doing, but I want to make sure that you have plenty of time in your house buying day.
Yeah. We probably have to leave here, in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
And I haven't heard from our house buying friend.
Yeah.
One of our angels.
But I did want to come back to that withholding. I love how simple that feels. And it really does feel accurate. It's like, okay, I have all this, but you have to give me something or I'm going to keep holding it. And that's an energy that just declares that A, there's not enough in the world, and B, that there's, separation between what I have and what you have. And I really feel that that's breaking down, and you can really see that in society and culture. And I feel like even this new generation of kids coming in and everything, and like this, us having these conversations and, just even like Nathan and Sherry that we talked to yesterday, they're all feeling this, no, I have this, and this is what I love to give here. I have plenty. I'm overflowing because I'm filled up by the joy of life. And I give, and as I give, I am receiving like tenfold, like you were saying, Lucy, like it just rains back down on you because you're giving from the pure heart joy space. And that's like it's such a reciprocal thing that when you engage in that, you realize this is the only way I want to do it.
I mean, have you ever walked up to a stranger and given them money or done something like that? I don't mean a homeless person, because sometimes that's paired with obligation. Like I have less than, I should give them some money. That's not it. That's not the feeling. Like this woman in front of you in line is talking about how she'd love to get this little thing for her grandson, but she just can't afford $20 on a Lego. And she's walking out, and you bought your oat milk. You just hand her a $20 bill. If you've never done it, do it. It will change your whole life. You are instantly a fountain of power and feeling goodness and sharing. I'm getting chills talking about it. It is the most amazing way to connect with humanity, but it can't be pity, and it can't be, oh, I should. The Lord says I have more and I should share it. That's not it. It's like, oh my gosh, I have a $20 bill in my purse. This woman can get her grandson that Lego thing. Here you go, or whatever. You don't have to eat. She doesn't have to use it for the Lego thing. She might need to get some food. I don't know. So it's this moment of like, you feel, honestly, I've done this a couple times, and I feel like literally a fountain of energy come out of me, connecting me to all of creation. And in doing that, it's creating this confirmation in my body that I have. It's like completely eradicating any feeling of scarcity. Because in my mind, you should be smart. You need to save the cash. You should use it for this. You should, you need to put in your savings, all those things that we've been smartly told. And it's love. Love taught us that, right? Love from our other generations above us have taught us to save money and to be smart about it. But that stuff can be the feeling of being smart and the feeling of sharing because you see a fellow sister in need, and that gift that you get back of your own power, your own ability to connect humanity, it is beyond. Try it.
I love it. It's perfect. And I was thinking a really important thing for people to hear is a little bit of my experience launching a basic income for you guys have been several people, I believe, in the process have asked me how they can support me or how I can be supported. And so they're asking for my Ko-fi page. I don't think anyone has started giving me a monthly donation yet, but I got a one-off donation and everything. And so I want to bring that up because I want to say, like, if you're really passionate about this and you're feeling, it's very possible that you might launch a basic income for yourself in the process of helping other people launch basic income.
That's absolutely it, right? Yeah. And that's like coming back to what you want for yourself.
Yeah.
You give to others, right?
Imagine a lot of yous out there, just people like you that are super passionate about this, just all over let's stay with our country, like all over here, just doing this. Can you imagine?
I do imagine that. That is what I'm wanting to see happen on a global scale. I want people to take this idea and run with it, and we can all collaborate, or we can or you can do your own thing. In my mind, it all is adding to the vision and the movement, and you can experiment with how it works, and it's just that's what I do imagine, because that's such a beautiful thing about this is I don't feel any kind of, as the person who started this project, I wanted to start a project that would I wouldn't feel possessive of in any way, because really the whole idea is that I really feel like this should already exist. And it's startling to me that I'm the person that I'm the first person to be talking about it. And so the faster we get this around the world, the faster, and it doesn't have to be this, the things I care about, are you enjoying your life, and do you have a happy amount of income? Do you have more than enough income? And I think if we can get those things covered, I think everything else will really start to work out in the world. I trust humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking about the home buying process, that's something I would love to, that's something I'm really itching to work on, is how do we, so I'm focusing on income because I think that's really fundamental, but there are other fundamental problems, I guess, fundamental challenges that I want to solve, that I want to work on. I say, no, we can do this more enjoyably. We can do this better. I want to work on those things. I know you guys want to do those kind of things. And so I guess just wanted to share that so much is coming. A flood. is
Yeah.
coming.
And maybe we'll save this conversation for next time we chat, but I was just going to throw in there when you mentioned the other day about, could you imagine if we did things where we didn't need to make money? They weren't about making money. They were about, you know, impacting the world. They were about helping people out. And, you know, that sort of economy is the world that I want to live in. And I would love to go deeper into that, you know, maybe when we have more time, but that feels like something.
Because you could do that if you were supported.
Yeah.
You could create a grocery store that doesn't profit. It just sells everyone's local food at a great rate. You could do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or it's just you know, it houses, the building holds the place for everyone to bring their food, and the money made there, you know, supports it to run, but you don't have to upcharge so much to be able to, you know, pay millions of
And one of the foundations would be, right,
dollars
like,
to yourself.
how can we help the most amount of people with the lowest amount of cost or whatever, you know?
Mhm.
And the greatest amount of fun and heart and connectedness
Exactly, yeah.
and love and happiness and bliss.
Mm.
I'm, you know, in the economy of, um, in the economy of withholding, money is an incentive. We talk about it as an incentive. But
Ugh.
would you wait for the plant to grow before you give it water? Would you
Yeah.
wait for the car to drive before you fill it up with gas?
That is it. It's backwards.
Yeah.
It's backwards.
Yeah.
It is backwards. That's 100%.
So yes, I truly believe that. I believe we will unlock so much energy when
Yeah.
people are not trying. I'm not there yet. That's what I want to get to, is that place where nope, I'm not concerned about making money for myself at all. And
Yeah.
that, I believe, will unlock my energy totally and unlock humanity's energy.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for taking this
Thank you
time
so
to do
much.
this.
These conversations are just amazing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next one.
All right.
love
We're
you a
gonna go
lot.
yoga.
Love you guys.
Love
All right.
you.
Bye.
Bye.